Hey y'all, this is Venus, and welcome to From Venus with Love, the best radio show on the galaxy where we talk about music, life, and everything in between. For those of you who are new here, like I said, I'm your girl Venus, and today we have a special guest, and I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
What's up, y'all? My name is DJ MIXAURINA, hailing all the way from ATL, Georgia. What's good?
And yeah, this is From Venus with Love. So, like I said, if you new here, hello. If you
Hey,
returning
y'all.
back, thank y'all. Keep it up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I always do afterwards, have a special guest mix from our guests. So stay tuned. So, how you been?
I've been good, girl. I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen each other for real.
Yeah, I've just been in the cut. Like I was
Yeah,
explaining to you off camera, I'm just trying to balance my life and save
yeah,
my money in the best way that I can while
for
like
sure.
still putting myself out
Out
there
there,
and
yeah.
doing what I need to do in this space. And
Mhm.
but yeah, it's always nice seeing you. It's
Yeah,
always good
likewise.
energy. It's always
Yes.
love.
Period.
So what's been going on with you lately?
Man, I've just been booked and busy,
I
man.
see. I'm trying to get like you.
Period. I mean, it has its ups and downs for sure. Like you said, like trying to balance that shit, it's hard. Um, but it's been good for the most part. Like especially coming out of Women's Month, just doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like female curated events. Being a part of like all female DJ lineups. That's been pretty dope. Just been doing a lot of networking for real. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the networking that I did like January and February kind of like led to like where I am now.
That's
So
important.
yeah, and it did take some balance too. Like I had to say no to a lot of things, and I had to like really sit back and think like, okay, how is this like how is this going to impact me like in a positive way? Like, yeah, it's good to go out and have fun and just enjoy those. It does not have to always just be networking, but
Right.
like if you are gonna go out, especially like how we were talking about, we live far, like we don't live in the city. So it's like having to like make that drive, you have to be conscious and feel like, okay, like is this something worth going to? Like, am I
Yeah.
gonna enjoy it? What's the parking situation like? What's the vibe like? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this even a place, where I would want to DJ in the future or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that? So, but yeah, it's just been cool being able to like connect with different creatives outside of just DJs,
Yeah.
different photographers and models and just different shit. So, I think I'm really, even though I've been living like in Georgia now for about 17 years, I feel like I'm just now kind of like discovering Atlanta for like what
Yeah.
it is for real.
Yeah,
But
because since you've been here, Atlanta's changed, and that's
so
also a good
much.
point too. Like,
Yeah.
bro, there's more to life than like making money in what you do. So, with
Mhm.
that being said, when it comes to your free time, like, how are you spending your time when you're not DJing or you're not networking? My idea of having fun isn't always like going to the club or like putting myself in certain environments. So,
Yeah.
like, if I'm really trying to go out for leisure, like it really has to be worth it for
Yeah.
me. And like I said, like you said, to your point, it's a lot of saying no. It's a lot of like, am I really gonna enjoy myself? Am I gonna have
Mhm.
to fight for my life for parking? Is my bank account gonna be hurting? So like,
Right.
yeah, I just feel like if
Yeah.
you have bigger goals and like obviously you're not trying to stay an hour away forever. So it's like if
Yeah.
you're trying to move on to something more,
Yeah.
your decision making process is a little bit more different.
Right.
And you don't have to necessarily explain it to anybody, but I'm glad like you
Yeah.
can relate. And I'm pretty sure it's other people who can relate
Yeah.
too. So,
For sure.
um I'm going to start off with a little icebreaker.
Okay.
Icebreaker. Okay. So, I call this game Take 5, and I'm
Okay.
basically going to give you a word or a phrase, and you're going to give me like 5 words to like describe it.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, if I say like apple, you might be like red, delicious, juicy, da da da.
Mhm.
Okay, so 5 words to describe where you're from.
Okay. Um Big Apple, city that never sleeps. Um Concrete jungle where dreams are made of,
Please.
head ass.
Head.
um, Empire State Building. Chopped cheese. Fuck you mean? That was 5, right?
Yeah, it was 5. So
That
if I
wasn't
would
even
have to take
words,
a
but it was just like
if
context.
if I was had to take a guess, you from New York.
Period.
Okay. 5 words to describe where you're at now. And I'm not just talking about like the specific city,
Just like in life.
just in general, whatever you want to describe that as.
Okay. Um, aligned. Um, purposeful. Driven. Intentional. And this last one. Eventful. It's been
Mhm.
eventful for sure. Yeah.
5 words to describe your style.
Hmm. Um, laid back, I guess. Um, put together, put that shit on. Um, I guess like I like to wear accessories, so anything with like jewelry, and I guess um very like I like corporate. I like corporate style.
Mm,
I like mixing streetwear with like business casual. I'm like just throwing words out there type
mhm.
shit, but like word to Lil Wayne, like I got so many styles. I am a group. Like I can literally look like yesterday. I feel like I look like a fucking disco Barbie yesterday, and now I'm like on some chill shit today. So it's however I'm feeling for
5 words to describe MIXAURINA.
real. Ooh, um, very eccentric. Um, I'm a little shy. Like sometimes being a DJ, a shy DJ. Wow. Um, I'm cool. Sexy, she cool. Um, I'm a vibe. Yeah, I think that was 5, right? I don't
We gonna
know.
say it's 5. So, anyways,
Bad bitch, add
so
that in
tell
there.
me a little bit more about MIXAURINA. I don't want to ask, well, how'd you get your name? But like, tell me a little bit more about MIXAURINA. Like, what do you want people to know about you?
Yeah. I am just a girl who loves music. Like, I really just kind of fell into this. Um, and it's just been a ride ever since, honestly. Like, I how do I really answer this question? I always like trip up on this question. Um, I just really like open format shit. Like I love being able to like express myself creatively through music, and just like different types of music that like
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't normally hear. Um, so that's what I kind of like center myself around as far as like I guess my brand and the events that I do. Very just like centric over just playing whatever the fuck I want to play. And if you like it,
Mm-hmm.
you like it. And if you don't, that's not really an option because you gonna fuck with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just being free and my creativity is just key for me as a DJ. I just like to have fun. I like to put people on. I like to, curate events outside of DJing that are more so like centered around women empowerment. So anything for the girlies, I'm outside for it, supporting fellow female DJs and putting them on to new opportunities and just networking, uplifting each other. I think is very key. And yeah, just bringing the people together. Community is
That's a
what
big
it's all
thing.
about. Like I seen a post the other day that said DJs are like the biggest community builders nowadays. Like, we always hear like follow the DJ. Like once you have a DJ or a couple DJs that you fuck with, follow where they going, the flies that they posting, even if they're not DJing, like
It's so
seeing where
crazy
they're
because I
at.
haven't heard that statement until like recently, but like
Mm,
it makes sense.
yeah, type shit. But yeah.
So, how can you describe where you were from when you started DJing to like now?
Mm. So when I first started, I mostly did like a lot of family events. So like I did my mom's 40th birthday party. my godparents, like anniversary dinner, like stuff like that. So very just like close to home. And then if I wasn't doing
Did they
that, I
pay
was in
you?
my no.
Oh.
Yeah. Just trying to, get my foot in the door and like
Yeah.
practicing
Yeah.
outside of my bedroom.
Yeah.
So my first like I started DJing back in like 2018. So I
Yeah.
didn't get my
Same.
first like paid gig until like 2019. So
Same.
that was like in college. So going from college to now, it's been very different for sure. Like um I mean, from the setup, like I'm looking at like old pictures of like speakers I had and my old board and all that shit. My old name, like I wasn't even MIXAURINA at that time. I was just basic DJ Nay. So like coming up with like a whole new like brand and new just like I had cut my hair too, like in 2020. So like a whole new look, a whole new sound, a whole new just everything. Like been spending more time just like rediscovering new music in a different
Mhm.
way than how I didn't before and all that different shit. So it's definitely been a journey and I'm excited to see. It's been what, like 6 years. I'm excited to see what the next 6 years look like for sure.
So I noticed that you mentioned like the whole kind of like rebrand in
Mm.
itself. So how would you say, okay, how do I ask this? What would you say the difference is between like constantly be able to reinvent yourself and being flexible with your brand versus like not being true to yourself? Like, do you think you
Mm.
can still be true to who you are and still reinvent yourself, or like can those two things not exist at once?
Um I feel like if you have an understanding of who you are and where you want to go, like the
Mhm.
sky's the limit. I hear people say all the time, like, this is my third or fourth life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really just like understanding where you are now and where you want to go, and having that vision in mind. And God gives us different visions for a
Mhm.
reason, and it's only for you to see.
Mhm.
Like, it's not for anybody to know or to explain to anybody else. Like, it's really just getting down to like the your roots
Yeah.
and your why. I think is a huge part
Cause some
too.
people would easily say like you're constantly reinventing yourself. You don't know who you
What that
are.
means, right?
But could you still be able to know who you are at your essence and still be able to like, I'm this person today, I'm this person
Yeah,
tomorrow, and know, "Ooh, if I want to be this person, I can be."
yeah, yeah. I think it the intention starts and then the work has to follow.
Mhm.
Like you can't just say you want to be this person and then not put forth the work. Like you got to meet God halfway. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it's a process. So you just got to trust that shit for real and just go through it. It's going to be uncomfortable for sure cuz anytime you doing something new, starting a new life, a new journey, a new hobby, whatever, it's going to feel weird as fuck. But, just getting past the weird feeling and then ultimately being able to be like, oh shit,
So
okay.
do you think reinvention is like running away from who you are, or like each time you go through that reinvention it's getting closer to who you actually are?
The second part, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause I just be curious because I just feel like some people might reinvent themselves because they might not know, like they're trying to figure in
Mm,
out in essence like who I really am. So I'm like, okay, the old me who I was 2 years ago didn't feel right. The
yeah.
new me right now don't feel right. I might have to come up with like, another person until it feels right.
Yeah.
But I feel like for myself, whenever I've like reinvented myself or enter like a new era of like elevation, like there are still themes to this day that like from my childhood to like my adolescence to now that are still like consistent.
Mm,
But some people might say if you're constantly reinventing yourself, some of those core values or some of those beliefs might not stay
can
the
get
same.
lost. Yeah, for sure. That's very interesting.
Cause
Like, what
I'm
would
not
you?
gonna lie, like I feel like a lot of people like we're in an era where it's so easy and to access like other people's lives. Like it's so easy for somebody to be like, I don't like who I am. I want to be like that girl on Instagram. So I'm just like, is that really you,
Yeah.
or is that what you're trying to portray?
Right.
And I feel like there's like the lines get blurred sometimes
For
between like
sure.
reinvention to get closer to who you truly are, and like
Being somebody else.
it's so
Yeah.
convenient to be somebody else, man. It's so
Yeah.
convenient. We see it like as DJs, like you see a nice blend, you gonna recreate that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so I think it's so easy, much easier to be somebody else or like try to live somebody else's lifestyle than to do the work. So I'm just like,
Type.
where does like the separation come in?
Ah, I feel like the separation can come in with like maturity because like
Mm-hmm.
when you're talking about from like you 2 years ago, like you 2 years ago don't know what you know now. So it's just kind of like it
Yeah.
comes with time. That's why say like, it's really all about grace and intention at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day.
I think, yeah, the intention part is true, because if you have intentions to like
Yeah.
be somebody else, like
Right. Then
that's
that's on
strange.
yeah, that's on
And it's
you,
just
buddy.
like,
That's on
instead of trying to
you.
figure out in essence who I really am, and it's like,
Right. And
yeah,
what you enjoy, yeah.
but
Because I can say, "Oh, like this person gets more gigs than me," but
yeah,
like that environment
mm-hmm,
doesn't fit what I want to do. So it's just
exactly,
like I'm going to, take what I got right now and
yeah,
see how I can, either create more rooms to where I
mm-hmm,
can be able to do that, or what are other people doing that are like, you know what I'm saying? Like cuz I know for me I'm not for like the clubs and the lounges, like that shit's cool,
but you know
but
what? I at one point, like, I thought that's what I wanted to do, because I
yeah,
will
me
say
too.
this, at the time,
Yeah,
the culture was different.
for
There were
sure.
certain clubs and certain lounges you could go to that would cater to you doing your own thing, but
Mm,
now I don't know, like I feel like from a consumer's perspective and a DJ, shit is getting so burnt out. Like you go to the
for sure.
same clubs, you hear the same thing, it be the
Yeah,
same vibes, and it's just
yeah.
like y'all don't have one day to dedicate towards
Right.
like some
Different
different
shit.
shit. And
Literally.
then like even the lounges that cater to that shit don't exist. And it's like
Or they're dying.
forget
Yeah.
the atmosphere for a second. Like think about what you have to deal with from like management and promoter. Like ain't nobody
That's it.
trying to
Yeah.
do that shit.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely like a thing. Cause like if you wanted to be like, it'd be easy to, oh, I want to be a club DJ. Well, relatively easy, but does that really align with you?
Exactly.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I got a club gig that made sense,
Yeah.
that would be different.
Exactly.
But speaking of club gigs and lounges, how do you feel about like residencies right now?
Um, I told myself this was the year that I was gonna get a residency, and like going back to what we were talking about with like
Shit, I've been
if it
telling
makes
myself that for
sense.
2 years.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
But I will say this. Like I said, the lounges and the clubs are changing. So I had a residency. I'm not even gonna play myself like I've never had a residency. I
yeah.
had two. But
That was that like sauce, right?
one came from me trying to be like, I have this gig just to say I have this gig and to get paid. But like,
Yeah.
bitch, I was DJing at a fucking Jamaican spot. Shout
Hmm.
out to the Jamaican spot in Marietta, but like I was getting paid from that shit. But like that shit don't. I love dance hall music. I love reggae. I
Yeah.
love soca. But like that shit do not align with what I want to do.
Yeah.
It was just something
Exactly.
to do, and I was getting paid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I had a residency,
Yeah.
and when I was doing sauce, I had more like freedom with
Freedom for
creative
sure.
control. But
Hmm.
yeah, bro, like I don't know if residencies even look like that now. Like,
Yeah.
cause you have DJs and you have curators doing their own thing. It might not even be like at one specific place, but
Yeah.
like you're still consistently playing their event. I think I would rather have that,
Right.
or like I have consistent gigs. Like I know where I'm gonna be, even if they're not in the same place. I know where I'm gonna be Monday. I'm gonna know where
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Tuesday. I know where I'm gonna be Wednesday. Like if I have 3 or 4 days out the week where like I'm always busy, it might not be the same place. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. But
Type.
yeah, residencies, I don't. They just look a little different now.
I think yeah, it's different for everybody for
Yeah.
sure. Um, like you said, I'm really just trying to like get my foot in with something that is consistent, but is also makes sense. Once again, like I did a Mexican restaurant the other day, and I mean I didn't play like straight Mexican
Oh,
music, you know what I'm
oh.
saying? Like I got to throw in some piano, some house, and like I guess Afro Latina, some stuff like, so it was
I'm
a
fucking
nice
weak.
little vibe, but And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, would I want to do this on a weekly basis? Like, I developed a good relationship with the manager, like, and the staff. Like, everybody was mad cool. But I'm thinking on like on a like realistic basis, like, is this something that I would want to do consistently? And it's like, as much as you want that consistency, you have to like
At
really
what
like dig
cost,
deeper. Yeah,
bruh?
like literally,
At what
like
cost, bro? Because I'm over here playing mariachi music for a check.
no, literally,
Man,
because it's
fuck
like
no.
we're
Respectfully.
already, you know what I'm saying? Like, not for everybody, but I know for me, like, I'm still a corporate baddie. So it's like, I'm already spending 40 hours a week doing work that I barely don't want to do. Why the
Man, let's
fuck
get
would I
into
want
it.
to do
Let's
that
get
shit,
into it.
like, on the
So,
weekend?
I always classify creatives in these two categories, but one of the categories broken down in two. So I have creatives in corporate and then creatives doing their own thing. But when it
Hmm.
comes to creatives in corporate, you have two sides. You have creatives in corporate doing a corporate job or working for a corporate entity like an
Hmm.
agency,
Yeah.
or you have a creative in corporate just doing non-creative work.
Yeah.
So which side of that do you fit into?
I think non-creative work because I'm in sales now.
Oh, fuck
And
no.
yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, no, my
Bitch,
background
been
is
there, did that.
in,
I hated my life. Like there was a
yeah.
point in 2021. Wait, 2020. Wait, last year was 20. Okay, yeah, no. I think it was the later half of 2022.
Hmm.
Y'all niggas was not seeing me outside because I hated my life.
Mm,
I hated my life. I worked in Alpharetta and I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to get into work on time
yeah.
just to make that fucking drive back. By the time it's 5 o'clock, I got back at 8. I ain't have no time to do what I want to do.
Anything,
I
yeah.
hated my life just to go in a job where I fucking hate my manager. I fucking hate what I do. And no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, like, what I spend my energy on outside of work, whether it's like my creative work or like my hobbies, I want to enjoy that shit and I want to have like
Period.
some type of say so. But
Yeah.
ah, ah, you didn't see me. There was no networking for real in 2022, and I was dealing with
Mm,
some personal shit that I couldn't even predict was finna happen
yeah.
to me and my family. But like, ew, finding that balance during that time was a lot,
Yeah. That's
and
why,
I
yeah.
just think like it can kind of fuck with like our creativeness and stuff like that because I don't want to put any more extra energy to making this mix, or I might not have the capacity to be like as creative as I want to because I just got my energy sucked out of for like 8 hours of the day plus how many ever long
In
hours you
traffic and
spend in
shit. Yeah.
traffic. Like, so how has, doing what you do affected you creatively or affected how you allocate your time?
Um, so like I just started this job like a couple weeks ago. So, and I was already upfront with them about like what I do outside of work, so it's no
Ooh,
confusion. Um,
ooh,
what?
ooh.
How you feel
That
about
was
that?
that was bold.
Yeah, no,
I'm Hannah Montana, bitch. I don't tell
I
my jobs what
was,
I do. I
yeah.
make sure that's why like my government name is nowhere on my social
Yeah.
media. And it's not something I like go out of my way to hide. Like if you ask what's your name, I'll tell you. But like I don't and then it's like in this day and age where people are like, hey, don't you work here? Like,
Yeah.
nah, bruh. Like,
Yeah, nah, I used to be like that. Like when I first started my first corporate job back in like 2021, like I kept that shit to myself. At that point too, like I was just kind of like in that rebranding process anyway. But like I just came to a point where it's like, bro, like it's gonna be times where I might not have to come into work and I have a gig or I have to like leave early for a gig. I'm gonna just straight up tell you like this is what
uh,
I got going on. Like I just believe in full transparency. Like
mm, yeah, I don't like. Let's be real. Like, I done had jobs where I was like, after I left, they're like, "Oh, she was too busy being a DJ to get do what she need to
Yeah,
do," and I'm
that's why
just
I
like,
didn't say you got to read the room sometimes. Like it's really like the
mm-mm.
environment. Like they actually cool. Like most of these companies now are actually cool. Like but back in the day, that shit
Man,
was
I
not
don't
even
play
on
that
the.
shit because
Yeah,
I've seen it happen, and I'm
yeah,
like, I'm black, I'm a woman, like. Y'all are expecting me to be on some nigga shit. Y'all are expecting me to come to work late. So as soon as y'all are expecting me to not get my work done. So as
yeah.
soon as I fuck up and like have a rough start, get here a little late, it's cause she was out damn DJing. Like
Yeah,
I'm not giving you a reason to use thing against me, but
yeah,
that's just me.
yeah. I
Kudos
feel
to
that.
everybody who can be transparent at their
Yeah,
corporate job and get those benefits. You can get hurt, you got your insurance, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I am Hannah Montana until otherwise. Y'all gonna know I'm a DJ at work, and when I step up in this bitch and I'm like, look, bye. When I
Yeah.
quit my job type shit, like
Yeah.
that's like my dream, low key. Like, this is so corny, but like I get like so on and I get so up where I could just leave in the middle of the day, like, well, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a DJ and I'm finna go on tour or something, like something lit, but
Yeah.
nah.
For sure.
So, what is something that you would tell other starting DJs? Like, what are 5 things you would tell starting DJs when it comes to like taking gigs or like the business side of things, the brand? Like, what are 5 things you would tell aspiring DJs or up and coming DJs?
I would say lock in with at least like a few photographers that you really fuck with to kind of like get your,
Ooh, that's a good
starter
one.
kits with, flyers and shit, and really just promoting yourself, um, cleaning up your social media, posting, I guess starting out like posting some videos of you blending some shit. If you don't have like actual bookings, um, when it comes to like taking gigs, once again, like really be intentional about the spaces and what you want to do, the type of music you want to play.
Ladies,
um
I hate to cut you
no,
off,
you
but like
good.
ladies, if you're a starter DJ, if it feels creepy, say no. Like, don't
Please,
say yes to something just
please.
to say you're booked more and to like get a check.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. And I would say like invest in the best equipment that you can. And lastly, just, be patient with yourself, give yourself grace. Oh, nah, I'm at an extra one. Practice, 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 practice,
you
practice,
always have to be
practice. You
hungry.
always have to be practicing. Like, no matter how far in the game you've been, no matter how many gigs you done booked, I still practice. And sometimes I still get nervous. I was nervous yesterday because, it's some shit that you never like really used before. I never used the CDJ. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what the fuck. But
Oh girl, you gotta use the CDJs. You gotta start
yeah, I
practicing on
fuck
them
with that shit now.
CDJs. That's gonna take you from here to here.
Type, for
Like,
sure. Yeah. But yeah,
okay, so what's something that you're grateful for?
something that I'm grateful for is my support system, and that just involves like my family, my friends, just like the Atlanta DJ community for sure. Like, um, I do couple things like, or like I'll do like one thing and then somebody will be like, oh, I need you for this. Like, just being able to network and being able to like share my gift is and get paid for it is pretty dope. So yeah.
All right. And do you have anything that you need to get off your chest on this lovely afternoon, evening? Evening?
um man man not really, like just just grateful to be here. God is good, and just trust the process. And yeah.
Well, you heard it here, folks. This is Venus. This is MIXAURINA. We
Yeah.
signing off. But don't go nowhere. Stay tuned because we have a special guest mix from MIXAURINA coming up next. Like, as soon as this
Yeah.
episode and we get into the music, she finna play that 5.
Period.
So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you like the visual episode, don't forget to tune in to the mix on the SoundCloud, which will be attached in the description. So for y'all who are maybe in y'all's cars or going for y'all's runs, y'all don't want to necessarily look, you just want to listen, tap into the SoundCloud. But we
Yeah.
appreciate y'all. That's our time today.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.